Hi everyone, thanks for joining me for another episode of Evan Tuted. Today I'm going to show you a quick tutorial on carving a lino block. So a few things that you're going to need is your lino block, which is all ready to carve. I've marked it all up. You'll need a carving tool. The speedball kind of basic one is pretty awesome. If you open it up, it has all kinds of blades. We'll go over that in a bit. And then a bench hook. This is something that I made in my garage last night. Pretty easy, just pieces of wood, nails, and that sits right on the bench or on your table, and you can put your block against that, and that allows you when you're carving to keep a good handle on what you're doing. Okay, so let's get started. I want to go over our tool first. So the speedball tool comes with a handful of these little cutters. And they're all different sizes, and I'll show you quickly how these work. I'm left-handed, so I'll hold the ball in the butt of my hand, and then I will use my other finger to act as a guide. So I'll use pressure from my left hand, and I'll guide with my right. And you see how that just slipped? That's the reason why you want to wear Band-Aids. Okay, so what I like to do is start out with the size 1, and start out on the small detail areas. So I'm going to do the teeth on this one. That's the finest detail is on those teeth. And so I can obviously turn this to whichever direction I want, and I'm going to cut away. I'm going to start on this side and cut away. I don't want to cut up into the gums because then it's not very good for the. If I slip, then it's really bad. So what I'll do is I'll kind of start on this edge and I'll follow that contour. It really doesn't take a lot of pressure, and you don't have to go very deep. Notice I'm being very careful to keep my hand out of the way, but don't ever cut towards yourself. Always cut away. Sounds common sense, but when you're in the middle of it, especially if it's the middle of the night, I wouldn't recommend carving after dark. Okay, I'm going to switch to a bigger tool. Let's go with 3. Probably won't need a 5 on this. I'm going to take advantage of the triangular shape here, especially since these teeth, the little indents in the teeth, are triangular. I'm basically just going to go along the lines that I've already carved. I don't want to go perpendicular to them and stay parallel to them. If I really want to clear out this space, I'll use the edge, that same flat edge, and carve that against a flat surface. It's a good way to clean out a lot of this space. This piece doesn't have any cross hatching, but there's a couple ways to do cross hatching. You're just going to remove a line, and you want to come up out of it gently. So then to cross hatch, what I would just do is keep doing lines. The thing that's important to remember is that when you're doing cross hatching, it's not the gouge that you're printing, it's what remains. And depending on the type of style I want, I could go in, I could cross hatch like so. If I want to clear a large area, generally what I will do is I will pick a spot to start. I'll make kind of a border. And maybe the border is shaped like the contour of whatever my artwork is, maybe it's not. But then I'll pick a direction that I want to go, and for this I'm going to turn my blade sideways like this and go in. I get nice chunks of linoleum out. So there's a quick tutorial on how to carve a linoleum block, and as you can see I've got a lot of work ahead of me, so I'm going to ask you to leave so I can please finish, and I'll see you next tute.